Okay, triads and partial chords. So the three forms we're going to look at are, if you look on page 48, the triads, the E form, the C form, and the A form. And we look at triads on the first three strings, or the second, third, or fourth string, called string sets. So I take the E form, can be played on the first three strings, or second, third, fourth. The C form can be played on the first three strings, or second, third, and fourth. And the A form can be played on the first three strings, or the second, third, and fourth. So using that Take Me Home Country Roads as a vehicle, here's the triad with the E form, A. The second chord is the 6 minor, which is F sharp minor, which doesn't have an open string. You can play the A form, the E form or the A form. But even then, you can still break it down to, if you look at the F sharp minor on page 9, or 16 rather, it shows a scaled down version with just these three notes. But you can also throw in the first and second string, which will give you the E would be a flatted seventh, making it a minor seventh, which is also here. And this note here is what is that? The B is, what is the B? B is a sus4. So this would be like a minor 11. So if you want to still get that more open sounding E with triads, doesn't really match the song, but it gives you an idea. So the A, the F sharp minor, then E, I'm going to use the C form, which looks like a little D chord up 2 frets. And for D, I'll just slide down to, and then to A. So I can do the same thing now, but playing the triads on the second, third, and fourth string. Now D, you don't have an open D yet, so you want to go back to that standard D, or at that point move to the A form, which would be right in that same vicinity of those other three triads. See the A and F sharp minor there, the E, and then D would be so. Move it up the neck, start the same chord sequence. This time, instead of starting the A in the E form, I'm going to start the A in the C form. And now my F sharp minor will be in A form. But even that, you can play a partial chord and get some mileage out of that. Play it as a power chord. Leave that B string open, which makes it a sus4 or an 11. It sounds a little outside, but it sounds cool. Not that cool. It does work though. But anyway, so let's say play the standard F sharp minor using the A form. Here's my A, using the C form, F sharp minor, A form, E using I have a choice here. I can use the A form or the A form on the second, third, and fourth string, and then back down to D. So take that through. Move to the set of the middle strings. So those are your options for playing triads up and down the neck, mixing and matching them. The one thing, once you get comfortable with those shapes, you start doing the same thing you would do down here. Use a D chord. Put your pinky down, make it a sus4. Lift up your index finger, open the first string. It becomes an add 9. And you can do the same thing with any of these triads. So let's take the D form. There's a lot of juice here. I mean the A form. Use a D chord. Using the A form. If I raise my pinky up, I get a sus4. So just add some more color to that chord. Now if I take that same form and I bar my first finger across the first 2 strings, and I lift up my pinky, there's my add 9. So I got sus4, triad, add 9. And if you're if you got that little bar, that little petite bar there, you can take your pinky and hammer, grab the first 2 strings, hammer the second string, and get this. E. Very, very, very powerful little device. The E form. There's my. So when you're playing these triads, so oftentimes and if you're playing with the alternating bass, often you're sharing one string as a melody note and a bass note. That third string could be my melody note for that little sus4, but it's also part of the alternating bass pattern. Just be aware of that. So take me that same chord sequence, a little more color. And now I'm playing this, and that's the E out of the A form. I'm just playing the second, third, fourth string. There's my sus4. If I play this, and one last note, you can simplify even more as far as making these shapes even smaller and more malleable. This is a triad. This is a diad, or a double stop. I'm just like Brown Eyed Girl, a little intro there. Those shapes. I just do this. D. Only 3 strings, and it's completely full. Here comes E. So what I'm doing there, this first diad is a piece of that C form chord, but just the first and third string, and I'm coming down to a standard E chord, but I'm adding that little extra diad to connect them. And even with little diads, I can take that as sus4. I have one shape. A on the 5th fret out of this shape. E, 12th fret. D, 10th fret. So anyway, a lot of power in there. Hope this gives you some stuff to work with.